first time that I've done stand-up in Oxford. So I thought today I'd just do like an introduction about myself. Fascinating, obviously. I'd just like to say that the last guy, you were very good, but although I don't have books and I may look less professional, at least I have my material written on my hand rather than on an orange carton. But sorry, you were very good, nonetheless. But yeah, I thought, basically for you this is a comedic experience, hopefully, fingers crossed. But for me it's more like a cathartic experience. So basically what I'm going to do for 8 minutes, yep, that's what 8 minutes, I'm going to relay my problems to you. My tragic problems, and you can either laugh if you're sick fucks, or you can not, which makes you fucking mean. So, it's a lose-lose situation, basically, so go for it. I thought I'd start with my mental problems first. I thought basically I'd start on a low point, and then sort of move upwards towards an optimistic end with happiness and hope. I thought that's possibly not true, but I thought anyway, I'd start with mental problems, and so I only actually have one, so yeah, sorry about that. But I have OCD. It's a very fashionable one. It stands for obsessive compulsive disorder. I don't know why I did that. That wasn't part of the material on my hand, but I thought I'd do some visual thing there. So I have OCD, and basically I kind of guessed I had OCD for a while, but it sort of came out properly about a year ago. And so I thought I needed to kind of help with that. I didn't think comedy was the way, as it turned out, that was the only way. Myself. So this is like a healing process, guys, and you're all part of that. So basically, a year ago, I decided to sort of put out adverts, basically just around my local region, saying, do you have OCD? Do you want to talk about it? And I gave my email. I also said, please be really fit if you decide to go. I didn't actually say that, but you know, you always really want that many Jew group things. Praying that there'll be at least one for So yeah, so I did that, and I actually expected like no responses, because even, I mean, I knew I had OCD, but I wouldn't have responded. But amazingly, the next day I got about like 200 responses, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm reaching out to people. There are other weirdos out there as well. I felt amazing and great, and I was like, okay, there are 200 in front of me, 200 emails, and I looked at them, and there was only one problem. They were all from the same person. So yeah, I kind of gave up on that idea, and here I am. So there are a few other things. I'm a feminist. I wouldn't call that a mental disability necessarily, more maybe a neurosis. I don't think feminism, I mean, it has a very negative reaction when I say I'm a feminist. A lot of people assume that's a bad thing. But I mean, I think it probably gets a more negative response, actually, I find, than if I said I was anti-Semitic. Or if I said I wanted to kill gays. If I go a step further and try and think of like an extremely insulting, offensive thing, like contemporary Islam is a fucked up religion right now. There's a little worry, there's a shock on your face, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, go on then, honour kill me. I'm sorry about offensive, it's only like a joke. And I mean, I like to explain my offensive behaviour by saying like I had trauma as a child, which is actually true. I was actually raped when I was younger. Yeah, serious issue here. But it's actually quite a useful thing. Here's a sex tip, in case you're getting bored of my comedic material. Which is that if you're bad at sex, or you don't want to go down on someone, just be like, I was raped. I like to say on a personal note that actually the lesson I learned was that, this is serious, if there are any girls in the audience, never, ever, ever say to a guy you're not attracted to that you fantasize about rape. It can lead to serious misunderstandings, at least in my case. So yeah, so on a more positive note, I thought I'd sort of move down and end up in happiness. So I do Russian and philosophy at Oxford now, so that's all. I've just come back from my year abroad, and I was in Russia. And it's actually, people see this great divide between the Russians and the English, but we're very similar. All the students do exactly the same things we do. They even have Facebook. And it's kind of similar to the American English Facebook, except that the government controls your privacy settings. Joke. I do love Russia, and I had great experience in Russia. Probably the best thing was that I actually dated, and this is absolutely true, I dated the son of the 63rd richest oligarch. I'm talking like that's billions of pounds. They are so rich. And he was so generous. I got loads of gifts and it was amazing. But a lot of people sort of look at me now, especially sort of girls who are a bit judgmental, and they're like, that is so superficial. But trust me, it really wasn't superficial. It was not just because of his money. He was really good looking as well. So you might name check that and think, wait a sec, that's superficial. But I don't think looks, judging people by their looks, is a superficial thing. I really don't. I think it shows great depth. But I mean, a lot of women deal with, like, a lot of women date men who are less like good looking than them, I'd say. Because on average, I mean, when you walk in the street, there are a lot of pretty women. And there's about sort of one good looking guy, lucky a year, Oxford, anyway. So, sorry.
That's true.
As much as I can. To everyone who's a Semite or male. But yes, so basically, yeah, what was I talking about? I actually really can't remember. Crap, oh yes, about ugly men. So basically, if you're with an ugly man, I find a lot of girls turn off the lights when they have sex. Like, I do. I prefer to be in the dark, even if it's a good-looking guy. But I think it really helps when you're with like a fat guy who's rich, obviously. But if he's fat, I find like it helps if it's dark, because if you sort of like reach out blindly and feel a tit, it's a 50% chance that it's yours. So that's the good thing about the dark. Well, actually at the moment I'm single, but I was dating a boy last term. I call him a boy because he actually was. He was my first younger man, if you will. And he was very sweet. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the hell I have about him. What? Sorry, what do you say?
I'm trying to remember his name.
That's true as well. That's not part of my material on my arm. Yeah, his name is of no importance. Yeah, but he was one of these, he was, oh actually this is a message to all the other comedians. Because I think he may be in the audience, so please don't swear. There's a child in the audience. But he was very sweet. He was one of these very well-mannered guys. He was the sort of guy who, like after he had sex with you, he'd write you a thank you note. Thank you for having me. And also he was very, very Oxford, like sort of disappointingly so maybe. Because he one day said, oh, I'll take you out to the pictures. I was like, great, a date, finally. And then I found myself watching Accenture slideshow about management consultancy, which wasn't what I expected or had in mind. But no, there were a few issues. I found like he was at that age, like he's past that age. You know, when you're 16 as a boy, like you're really excited about sex, and then as you get older, you get more serious about it. But he was in between that. So basically, he kind of, I felt like he was more. I felt like he wanted to play more with Dungeons and Dragons than with me, you know? And he practically said that once. So I tried to work out a way of combining the two. So I did a bit of research, because I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, because I'm too cool, obviously. So I did the research, and I figured, I kind of suggested to him, maybe we could do like role-playing, you know, because you have like a character list, and he could be like the dungeon master, and we could use those polyhedral dice as anal beads. Yeah, it didn't work. I mean, I didn't like to beat around the bush, and I kind of said, this isn't really working. The problem was he did like to beat around the bush, literally. And he never found my clitoris. Anyway, I kind of ended here, but actually, just because you did a poll, whoever was doing the emceeing, I can't remember his name, but I didn't sleep with him. Yeah, but I have a poll, just, I can't actually see anything, it's quite dark, but I'm just interested, like I've been asking a lot of friends about who they prefer to go down on, randomly really. It's one of those conversational topics you bring up when you have like a little pause. So I just want to know, because I find like a lot of heterosexual people actually prefer the idea of going down themselves rather than someone else, because they're a bit grossed out sometimes. So can you all actually just all close your eyes? Don't worry, I won't rob you, I'm white. So close your eyes for a sec. Okay, so you don't feel embarrassed. Okay, who prefers to go down on men? Raise your, kind of close your eyes, lift up your hand. Okay. Okay, and then, okay, keep your eyes closed. Who prefers to go down on women? Okay, that's not everyone putting up their hands either. Let's say the women win, so well done. So, that's about it. That had nothing to do with my career. It's not on my arm. I just thought it was interesting. Thank you.